To quote Tony Montana, all I have in this world are my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Welcome to the channel Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help new managers become more confident leaders, and I do that with no nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. Today, we're going over 5 leadership mistakes that will instantly ruin your credibility. Listen, credibility is something that takes a long time to build, but my word, it can be lost like that. The first thing that you can do to lose credibility with your team is lose your temper. Have a public outburst where shit just hits the fan. Things, especially for leaders, can become stressful. Certain things can build up. I don't want to say that leaders and managers, you have to have it all together all the time. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to snap on somebody, to have an outburst, that needs to be in private. That needs to be on your own or with that one individual that you're having an issue with. Not necessarily customers around, the teams around, and you just have a meltdown. Try to contain it. Because if you do this, your credibility is lost right away. Now, that said, sometimes when you take control of a situation and it is the results that you've been given are unacceptable, there is nothing wrong with letting your team know this is unacceptable. I don't know why you thought you should turn this into me, but this is not what you're paid for. To have a moment like that, once in a blue moon, it can make ooh, we really messed up. Now, if you're having these outbursts all the time, that's where you lose the credibility. Because you're like, okay, Mike just went off the handle again. But if it's once in a while, it's more of an exclamation point than anything. Moving forward, number 2, the second way you can lose credibility immediately is that you never admit a mistake. Listen, you know and I know that we as leaders, we as managers and supervisors, we're human. We make mistakes. If you want to keep your credibility that you've earned with your team, do not be afraid to admit when you've made a mistake. Some people think that as leaders, that we have to know everything, we have to be everything to everyone, and that's just not possible. The more you are comfortable with saying, listen, guys, this is my bad, the more respect that you earn immediately. And in my world, respect is a byproduct of credibility. They kind of go hand in hand. If I find that you're a credible person, I'll respect you in that role as well. If you haven't grabbed it already, download my free ebook, 14 Things I Wish I Knew Before I Became a Manager. I promise you don't need to make the mistakes I made. Carrying on. Now, I know, John's on your team and Sally's on your team, Frank's on your team, but who are they? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Is there anything that they need individually? A lot of times we can get hung up on, I have to be equal. I have to treat everybody fairly. And you do. But that does not mean that you need to treat everybody identically. When you have 2 people, unless they're identical twins, they're not identical. They're going to have different needs. They're going to have different strengths that they bring to a project. Or they can provide a different outcome based on their personality traits and what they're strong in. So if you don't know your team and you just put somebody who's really weak on customer service doing customer service when they could be doing something that they're strong at, you start to lose credibility with the team because the team's like, but Mike knows I hate people. Why am I on customer service all the time? Doesn't mean you can't put somebody on customer service. It just means pay attention to who your team is, what the strengths are, and use them to your advantage because that will be the team's advantage. The next way that you as a leader can lose credibility is that you have no mentors. You don't go to anybody and ask for feedback. You just think that the way you're doing it is the way it's supposed to be done. And if you've never had any training, if you've never really been in a leadership role before, and you just start doing what you have to do, 1, that's how we all start. But 2, you need to quickly look for resources. Just like watching this video, just like reading a book, just like going to seminars, just like finding a mentor, whether it be somebody that you are able to personally talk to, or somebody that you look up to and you buy their biography. You need to be learning. Doing what you do to survive is not going to help you and your team thrive. It just doesn't work. And finally, like Tony Montana, you should not break your word for anyone. When you say this is what is going to happen, that's what needs to happen. When you say at this point you get a raise, you'd better make damn well sure at that point they get the raise. If you say tomorrow we're cutting out early, we need to cut out early. Now, of course, circumstances arise where you may have to make some changes, but make sure you make good on your word. If you want to cut out early on Friday afternoons and that's what you tell the team, yet something surprises you and comes and now you have to take that on and the team has to stay late, well, that sucks and it's going to have to happen, but you need to now make good on it. You need to go and find another way to let the team out early. Maybe not on Friday, maybe on Monday, maybe the next Friday, maybe you give them a day off. You just have to make sure that what you protect is your word, because your word is your credibility. If I know that you're saying something to me and I don't believe it, you might as well not say it. That's the video, my friends. Get your coffee. Let's go to the next one. Ciao.